Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Living Artist Podcast. I just wanted to make an appearance today to let you know that we recently held auditions while Preston is out getting a special treatment. Isn't that right, Mumford?
That's right, man. Yeah, we did hold some auditions, and they went a little something like this. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast.
Good, Nick. Next.
Does not do anything for you. Now say goodnight to the bad guy. Wait, that was it? Oh, okay, next. That's right, brothers and sisters. It's me, Ahem. And you're in for a real treat, I'll tell you what. Got my shirt off, I'm all greased up, and I'm playing.
Okay, Matthew, that was great, but I'm going to stop you there because we used you last time. Next.
You know. Oh, it looks like we're having some vocal difficulties here. That's okay, Christopher. We'll circle back to you next time. Next. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's me, Tony Robbins. And if I'm going to be doing this podcast, my inspirational music is sure as shit coming with me.
Real good, Tony. Wait, let me turn this thing off.
Oh, man, that's better. Couldn't hear myself. You know what? On second thought, just roll the mashed potatoes. Mash-up.
Yeah, just like Tommy Waits, I'm going straight to the top. Oh, yeah. Going straight to the top, baby. No, wow, there's so much in there. So much in that little story. Nothing people like more when you go straight to the top than when you go straight back to the bottom. So let that be a lesson to us all. But really, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the madness of the crowd and the mob and society. We are going to be talking about ourselves and our mindsets. And, you know, I just came off of a really good show at Shockbox, Intergalactic Open 4. I was talking to a bunch of people, met a lot of good artists, great artists, saw a lot of great work. It was a very successful opening. And I was talking to a lot of people, and it's always, you know, a good chance to just kind of air some of your thoughts and grievances and, you know, your goals for the year and goals for what you're trying to achieve and hear other people's and, you know, just bounce ideas off of each other. And, you know, I heard a lot of stuff that made me kind of think about some stuff that I've thought about in the past. We have to manage our expectations sometimes. And what I mean by that is there's this tendency that we have as artists, and I think as Americans, and even just in Western culture in general, we've watched a lot of movies. We've seen a lot of success stories. It's the Fight Club thing, you know. We all think we're meant to be famous and superstars. And, you know, we have this idea of what success looks like. And that's great. You know, it's one of those things where we need that. We need to be pushing ourselves to succeed. But I just want to caution one little thing, and that is don't put all your eggs in one basket thinking like when you achieve X, then you will be happy. When you achieve this milestone, when you hit this milestone, you know, then it's going to just all be coming up roses for you. You're going to be straight to the top and everything's going to be wonderful up there. The air is going to be better than the air down here. And, you know, I think that's something that I just want to caution you on, not on the fact that you need to limit your goals. Goals are freaking amazing. I have huge goals. I've got 10x goals. I've got 100x goals. And, I plan on achieving all of them. And I hope you do too. What I'm saying is, though, keep moving, like be a moving target. You can't hit a moving target. A rolling stone gathers no moss. There's a reason for a lot of these old expressions. It's one of those things where if you just for example, your goal is, when I just get into this gallery, I'm going to have it all made. When I just, one of the things, publish this book, when I just get into this agency, or when I just start, making a living and quit my day job, then everything's just going to be set. Like I'm going to be on Easy Street. I'm going to be living in Fat City. That's an old expression. Probably doesn't work nowadays. That's one of those cancel culture expressions. But anyway, we'll go back to the first one. I'm going to be living on Easy Street and everything's just going to be wonderful. And, I don't think that is a healthy way to look at stuff because, first of all, you don't want to just be on Easy Street. You don't want to just, hit this milestone and then plateau and be like, okay, well, I guess that's it. You want to constantly be moving and adapting and growing and doing new stuff with your art and maybe even shifting into other areas. Like, how many actors have you seen that have just had huge astronomical success and they get there and then it's like, you know what? I want to be a director now, or I'm going to be a producer now, or I'm going to be a documentarian, or whatever it is that they do. And they start pushing themselves into, different fields or just, a different creative muscle that they're exercising. And I think that's wonderful. I have that too. I have a lot of stuff. I've tried a bunch of stuff. I've written books. I've been a lead singer of a band. I've done acting. I've done improv. I love singing. I love performing, but art has always been my thing, but it's not something that I limit myself to, meaning I'm just going to be a painter. This is all I do. I do this one form of creativity and I do this one genre. I've even changed styles. I dip back in and out of styles a lot. It's just something I follow my creative bliss or whatever. If that's too corny, I just follow whatever is sparking my creativity at the time. And that's the way to be, I think, as an artist. And I think that should be the way it is too with your career and with your career goals. Have these big lofty goals, but don't have them be like an end target that you're trying to hit. Have them be just one of the targets that you're going to hit. So you don't have that huge come down. I've talked to so many people that have actually hit a target and then they just have this huge letdown or come down. I've even talked to a bunch of people who've had existential crises, afterwards. It's okay, well, now what? And that's the whole Mumford thing at the beginning,
I made it. I'm at the top. Now what?
It's kind of true. Now what? If that's what you've been setting your sights on your whole life, your whole career, and then you hit that and you make it there, what now? I mean, you're probably going to enjoy it for a week or two, and then you're going to be like, oh man, it's either lonely at the top or you're just kind of wow, this wasn't everything that I thought it was going to be. This didn't change my entire life. That's the thing about life is it's constantly moving, and our careers should be constantly moving too. We should be having lots of different goals, lots of different creative instincts or creative paths that we're following. A lot of stuff that keeps us interested, because I think if you are not interested or you just have a very limited amount of interest or a very narrow path or narrow focus, that's going to come back to bite you in the ass at some point.
Baby, how you feeling? Eat
Yeah.
to kick it off.
Feeling good, everybody. Yeah.
Baby, how you feeling? Check my nails. 2 count
Yeah. I'm doing it.
Yeah. I was just thinking a little bit. I was pondering this morning when I was getting ready to record this. I was like, what is the lever that I can pull that kind of pulls all the other levers in my life? I think that's a really important question to ask yourself. And for me, obviously it's the chronic pain thing. I mean, I'm still working on it. I've been dealing with this for 3 years. I've never really gotten into how horrible it's been and how bad it's been for me and how it's just basically screwed up my entire life. But it's been a work in progress. It's been something that I've learned a lot about myself. It's something that still plagues me to this day, but I've gotten better. I've worked on a lot of stuff. One day, maybe I'll share all the medical stuff I've done, the biohacking, the nutritional stuff, the hormonal stuff, all the stuff that I've had to do behind the scenes to just get to a place where I'm in a working position where I can actually function a little bit. So that's one thing I'm doing. That's the lever I am very focused on and fixated on achieving this year in 2024 is just getting completely out of chronic pain, getting back into my life, because it does affect all the other aspects of my life, how I show up in the world, how I paint, how I can't paint always. I can't always paint big stuff. I can't always paint paintings in general. I get into pain. I can't do it. So that's a lever that I want to pull so I can show up better for the podcast, so I can show up better for shows. I've taken a break from doing a lot of shows because of that. Thankfully, I've been selling my work online and I've still been reaching you with the podcast. But that's a lever that I can pull that will really just make a huge difference in every other aspect of my life. What is that for you? Let's say maybe you are a drinker. Maybe you've been having a problem with drinking, and maybe that's bleeding over into your next day, and it's just screwing up your mornings. You're getting up late. You don't have the presence of mind to get going. You don't have, maybe it's, leading to a little bit of depression or anxiety. So maybe quitting drinking is something that could be a lever that you pull that pulls all the other levers, gives you all that energy and focus that you need to do. Maybe it's, getting out of debt. Maybe you're in this crushing debt right now that just keeps hanging over your shoulders, and it doesn't allow you to get the painting materials or the art materials you need, or doesn't allow you to get that studio space that you want. So maybe that lever is, focusing on getting out of debt this year. Maybe it's just a mindset shift. Maybe it's one of those things where you're just like, you know what? I have not been confident in myself, in my ability to do the things that I need to do. And I just need to focus on every day on what are my standards? What are my new standards going to be? I'm going to raise my standards to a place where it's like, this is the only thing I will accept for myself is to do this year. And if you can work yourself into that mindset, through things like meditation or through, whatever, affirmations, whatever you want to do, visualization, and just raise those standards to a place where it's like, I will not accept anything else. That's a lever you can pull that will, change everything else in your life. Maybe it's as simple as you need to get your mindset right. Maybe it's these breathing exercises. Maybe that's something you can do just to set off your day with the right momentum. And maybe that's something that will be enough of a tweak to get you going where everything else falls into place. You create better. You reach out to galleries better. You show up with your friends better. You show up with your collectors better. All the stuff, all the downstream stuff is affected by it. It can be so many different things. So what I would recommend for you is just to get clear on what's something that's been holding you back, what's something that's been affecting everything else you do, even if it's just in a very minuscule way. What is one of those things that's been affecting you? And what's the lever that you can pull or work on pulling that's going to have all these great downstream effects? And it's going to make your life improve in every aspect. So that's something that's really important, I think, going into 2024. It's not just like, I'm going to go to the gym more.
I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to the gym every day.
Well, okay, you may or may not do that, but let's get a little bigger picture here. What's the one thing that is really holding you back? And then we can work on kind of fixing that and eradicating that from your life, and that will have all these wonderful downstream effects.
Hey, listen up. You forgot about me. What about my audition? I put on my spiffy clothes, my glad rags, and drank some gigawater. I'm all hotsy-totsy and ready to give you the cat's pajamas, see? Stop all this flim-flam flippery and listen to me. I'm the bee's knees, you see? I'm not going to give you any bunk. Everything I'm going to be saying is all Jake. Yeah, so let's get out of this juice joint and I'll give you the straight dope. I'll give you the applesauce, see? That's crackerjack.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here, and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.